The 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport promised a taste of European flair wrapped in an American package. But did it deliver on the sport? Or was it just Euro minus the sport? Welcome to Motor Hub 1003, where today we're testing this quirky 80s midsize sedan that aimed to blend style and performance but landed somewhere in between. In the late 1980s, Chevy wanted to inject some Euro-inspired pizzazz into the Celebrity lineup. The Eurosport trim featured subtle styling tweaks, like sportier wheels, unique badges, and a slightly firmer suspension, meant to appeal to drivers craving a dash of European sophistication. But beneath the surface, it was still very much a typical American front-wheel drive sedan. The Celebrity Eurosport packed a 2.8-liter V6 engine that churned out moderate power. Not exactly the fire-breathing performance some expected from the sport batch. Acceleration was decent for its class, but far from thrilling, and the handling, while improved from the base model, didn't quite match the sharpness of true European rivals. It was an earnest attempt, but the sport was largely missing. Styling-wise, the Eurosport had some attractive touches: the front spoiler, sportier wheels, and a few interior upgrades. Inside, the cabin was roomy and comfortable, with features that felt modern for the time, but it still had that boxy 80s aesthetic and plastic-heavy feel typical of the era. It was more cruiser than corner carver. Today, the 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport is a niche classic, part nostalgia, part curiosity. It's a reminder of a time when American automakers experimented with global influences but didn't quite nail the balance. For collectors and enthusiasts, it's a fun time capsule of 80s car culture and a lesson in how not all sporty badges deliver on the promise. At Motor Hub 1003, we appreciate cars that tried something different, even when they didn't fully succeed. The 1987 Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport may not have been the sports car Chevy hoped for, but it remains an intriguing piece of automotive history. It's Euro-inspired, yes, but minus the sport. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Motor Hub 1003 for more honest takes on the classics and curiosities of automotive history. Keep driving passion alive. Backhand index pointing right. Like, comment, and share if these adorable fur balls made you smile. Bell subscribe for more epic pet moments.